Before start story, please tell me where you're from and what time you are watching. The reflection that wasn't mine. I never believed in ghosts, demons, or anything supernatural. The idea of spirits lurking in the darkness, watching, waiting it all seemed like a fabrication of overactive imaginations. But that changed the night I saw my reflection move when I didn't. It started subtly. The first time I noticed something off, I was brushing my teeth in the tiny bathroom of my new apartment. I rinsed my mouth and spat into the sink. But when I looked up, my reflection still had its mouth open, eyes locked onto mine. I blinked hard, rubbed my eyes, and when I looked again, everything was normal. I laughed it off, convincing myself it was just exhaustion. Moving into a new place alone was stressful enough without adding hallucinations to the mix. But the occurrences didn't stop. They got worse. One night, after a long day at work, I dropped my keys onto the kitchen counter and turned towards the hallway mirror. The air left my lungs in an instant. My reflection was already facing me. I hadn't even turned yet. My skin prickled as I slowly stepped closer. My movements were mirrored perfectly, but I knew what I had seen. My reflection had moved before I did. I told myself it was just fatigue, a trick of the light. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. A shadow in the glass. Days passed and the incidents escalated. I started avoiding mirrors, but it didn't help. I would catch glimpses out of the corner of my eye, my reflection, lingering for just a second too long after I looked away, or shifting unnaturally fast when I turned my head. It wasn't just a mirror anymore. Any reflective surface could betray me, the screen of my phone when it was locked, the dark surface of the TV, even the glossy tiles in the bathroom. And then, the voice started. It wasn't loud. At first, it was nothing more than a whisper. Indistinct, a soft rustling noise, like a breathless murmur carried by the wind. But soon I started making out words. Let me in. The first time I heard it clearly, I was frozen in bed, staring at the mirrored closet door across the room. I wanted to move, to get up and throw a blanket over it, but I couldn't. It was as if something was holding me in place. I squeezed my eyes shut, heart hammering in my chest. Let me in. A whisper. A plea. And then a laugh. The thing in the mirror. The next day, I took down every mirror in my apartment. I covered the bathroom mirror with a towel and made sure there was nothing reflective left uncovered. But the feeling didn't go away. I could still feel something watching me, waiting. One night, as I was brushing my teeth in the dimly lit bathroom, the towel covering the mirror slipped to the floor, and there it was. Not me. It was wearing my face, but the smile was too wide. The eyes were too dark, too hollow. My real mouth had fallen open in horror, but the reflection grinned, lips stretching unnaturally as it mouthed the words, "You can't hide." I stumbled back, knocking over the toothbrush holder. The sound of plastic hitting the floor barely registered in my mind as I forced myself to move, to run. I slammed the bathroom door shut and pressed my back against it, my breaths coming out in ragged gasps. I couldn't stay here. I had to leave. Breaking the glass. The next day, I called in sick and booked a hotel. I couldn't be alone in that apartment anymore. I packed a bag in record time, avoiding the mirror-covered closet door like it was a loaded gun aimed at my back. The hotel room was plain but safe, or so I thought. That night, I woke up drenched in sweat, the air in the room thick and suffocating. And then, I heard it again. Tap, tap, tap. Slow, deliberate knocks. My body locked up with fear as I turned my head toward the bathroom. The door was open just enough for me to see inside, and in the mirror above the sink, it was there. Only this time, it wasn't trapped behind the glass. It was stepping through. Its body melted into reality like liquid shadow, dripping from the mirror onto the floor. The air grew thick with the scent of rot, of something ancient and wrong. I bolted from the bed, scrambling for the door. My fingers fumbled with the lock as my reflection, the thing wearing my face, stalked closer, its footsteps eerily silent. Don't run, it purred. I just want to be you. The lock gave way. I yanked the door open and stumbled into the hallway, slamming it shut behind me. My heart was hammering, my lungs burning. I ran. I didn't stop until I was outside, gulping in the cold night air. I called a cab and went straight to my sister's house. I didn't tell her what happened. She wouldn't believe me. Hell, I barely believed myself. But I never went back to that apartment. The last reflection. Months passed. I moved in with my sister while I looked for a new place. I avoided mirrors, refused to look at my reflection for too long. I told myself it was over. Until today. This morning, as I passed by a shop window, I caught a glimpse of my reflection. It smiled. But I didn't. And then it waved.